All right. So Miss Lauryn Hill received the Living Legend Icon Award at the BET Awards this year. And it was preceded by an incredible medley.
You know, we put ourselves sometimes as artists, we put ourselves in places,
5
in situations
minutes
where we have to say things that aren't always
I watched that in real time. It was a long
but we
speech.
understand that people will understand later. You know, I fight for y'all. Everybody may not know about it, but I fight for y'all.
When she does show up, she shows up.
And fighting for y'all is me fighting for myself. It's me fighting for my children. It's me fighting for my parents. It's me fighting for my grandparents. It's me fighting for my community. When I made the Miseducation, I was inspired by you. Know that. I was inspired by the beauty. I was inspired by our potential. I knew it was possible. I dreamed it, I saw it, and I had to manifest it through song. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad that you love the music.
No, maybe he just had some extra stuff there. All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I was like, man.
he dumbed it down because even where it started wasn't where she started in the actual acceptance. So yeah.
So does Lauryn's retreat from traditional music industry while having one album disqualify her from receiving such an icon award? I mean, obviously not. But what do you guys think about her receiving this award?
I think she really deserved it.
Yeah, why is that?
I think she had the one definitive piece of art that has stood the test of time. I mean, they talk about, oh yeah, she only had the one album. Like, she did have the album with the Fugees.
Yep, that's true.
And she did have the Unplugged album, which I couldn't stand, but I know some people who were greatly affected by that piece of art. Like,
that's because they were clamoring for anything from her new.
It wasn't just that. I remember I gave that to my sister because I had a whole bunch of promo CDs and she gave it back. But I have a couple of friends who they talk about that album like it is the Miseducation. Now, mind you, it was about where they were at the time and the things she was, so something about that piece of art really touched a lot of people, even if it was something that I didn't particularly care for.
Sure.
I think Lauryn Hill there's a mysteriousness to her because we don't see her that often. And at one point we really felt like if we did see her, it was a genuine treat. Like, whoa, Lauryn Hill is here. I remember this had to be 15, 16 years ago when there was like the Fugees reunion at the BET Awards. But there's been a whole
one more recent than that.
She was
right before a prize situation.
It was when they did the D'Angelo tribute at the Grammys. So we talk about the people who were like have a mysterious thing to them. We talked about, what is it to be not seen and not heard from? It doesn't work for anybody else really than Lauryn Hill. And maybe at a certain point D'Angelo, because those are two artists who didn't have these huge bodies of work. We didn't get something from them every 2 to 3 years.
But we did get more from D'Angelo. And it was good.
Yeah. But you're still talking about 3 albums over the course of 25 years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then when you talk about Unplugged, The Score, Blunted, and Miseducation.
Blunted don't really count.
No, there was some joints on there.
That
was the introduction.
Honestly, if it weren't for Lauryn Hill, we'd have never heard
got the score.
Yeah,
we'd have never got the score.
Yeah. Honestly, if it weren't for those remixes that Salam Remy did for the songs on Blunted, we'd have never got the score.
True indeed.
Yeah. So I think that Lauryn Hill does have a certain level of mystique, but when you saw the performances and the tributes to her, you could see, these are definitely her children who are out here showing love and showing tribute. So, I've seen a lot of discussions online and in real life about like, how are you going to give her this icon, this, that, and third? She deserved it. I'm just going to put it out there. She deserved it. Shout out to her. Hopefully, maybe this inspires her to do some more work, that maybe more collaborations with Nas. Who knows? But Lauryn Hill deserves it.
Can she though?
Can she do it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying she doesn't have the talent, but I'm talking about the politics of the business because I think that's why she walked away.
I think it's the politics of the business. I think it was also initially the story was she wrote, produced, and like played all the instruments.
And that's not true.
And that's just not true. And I think she did not trust the apparatus of creating music the way an artist usually would after winning 5 or 6 Grammys. I think when that all came out, she wanted to be like written, produced, directed by Lauryn Hill.
It wouldn't be Stevie.
Yeah, you know, and that turned out not to shout out to Newark and all you cats that really, you know, put in work on that album, but that doesn't make the album less incredible. But I don't think that she wanted to participate in the collaborative effort that maybe would have created a follow-up to that album.
That would be my only thing is like, I don't know if she would be able to, I mean, Robert Glasper has talked about this extensively and, you know, I don't know. I'm very curious. To me, it does put a little bit of an asterisk there, but you know, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that she deserves the, you know?
There's definitely an asterisk for me, just because. Yes, that was a great album, a great body of work, but I never got to see, to test to see if it was a fluke. We never got a sophomore jinx or nothing. The Fugees album, or the Score, their most critically acclaimed album, I attribute a lot of that to Wyclef, as far as production and the soundscapes of all of that. Not to say that she didn't do her thing on that, because she did. She shined.
Yep.
She shined on Miseducation, but it's a lot of the allure of that project has been stripped away from me, being that I've heard from Robert Glasper, which somebody that I hold in very high esteem. Not to say that she's not great. That's not a great body of work, but I don't know. Only reason I'll give her an icon because she has plenty of children out here. There's a lot of people that want to be. We've seen a lot of artists that have followed suit in the same. They've walked in the steps. Yeah, they walked in the steps of Lauryn Hill.
Like, I think she really kicked in for her to be the first female artist to win hip hop album of the year, to win album of the year. You know, for her to take it to that level.
I think those pieces specifically.
Those specific pieces. And the thing is, like, as a group, we've been very critical of the Grammys, but we can say, well, that's definitely a year they got that right.
Sure.
You know,
100%.
and, you know, when I see, it kind of put it all together for me when I see SZA and Doechii on stage together playing tribute. I was like, if there's ever been an example, it was like, yep, those are her kids.
I will say,
stylistically and artistically.
Tara, I'll let you jump in here, but like I will real quick because I mentioned Robert Glasper and I just wanted to say what he actually said. So he said on Miseducation, he claimed that the album was made by musicians and producers who did not receive proper credit, stating the one thing that, this is quote, the one thing that you did that was great, you didn't do, and alleging that she stole all my friends' music. So that's the asterisk that I was particularly speaking on, which is, again, her like opus, right? So anyways.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is another one of these situations where I can see it both ways. I can see how people are upset because they seen the greatness in a Lauryn Hill. They're not saying that she's not great. They're saying that what you provided to the music industry, I wanted more. It's like you left me wanting more from you. And for that, I can't say that you're an icon because you didn't give me enough iconic status when it comes to material. But in the same token, what she did give us, whether it was those albums with the Fugees or her personal album, Miseducation, Lauryn Hill, or her features. Sure. Lauryn has not missed, essentially. I understand with the Unplugged album, how people feel about that. I wasn't a huge Unplugged album fan. When I think about an artist that came from that same era and continued making music, I think of an Erykah Badu. Because she lent as much influence to the same generation of people that a Lauryn Hill would have as well. But she continued to make music.
She just didn't have the initial iconic thing that Miseducation had.
She did, though.
She did. But the
Baduism is just as good as album to me.
Maybe
but
musically.
You have to realize that that's coming from a cultural point.
Yeah.
Miseducation crossed over.
Yeah.
Miseducation was received well on both sides of the tracks, essentially.
And to everything that Jay said.
Yeah, remember Miseducation, like, Lauryn was on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Yes, she was on the cover of Rolling Stone. She took home all of those
a better
awards.
machine behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a better machine, but like leading up to that, people were familiar with Lauryn Hill also from
the Fugees
or from Sister Act 2.
Yeah. Remember, she came before, she came off of an album that sold like 13 million copies worldwide.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to, Baduism is Erica's first situation.
Mhm.
You know,
And it also wasn't received by people that weren't checking for that style of music at the time. Whereas Lauryn Hill had already crossed over, and she gave you an album that didn't have any skips, and it was soulful. It had raps on it. It sounded very good melodically, sonically. It pretty much checked off every box, just not in a J. Cole type of way. Shout out to Long, because he talks about checking off boxes. But the way she did it was immaculate. It's like you couldn't have asked for a better album at that
Flawless
time.
execution.
the only thing at the time I even wanted, I just wanted more raps. That was the only thing. That was my only criticism of that album, because I thought, okay, I'm gonna get a rap album from Lauryn Hill, and like at the first, I didn't. There's a record I didn't. The one that had kind of the RZA sample in it. I can't even remember the name of it. I love it now, but at the time I didn't want to hear about how like this ain't working. And
X Factor.
X Factor. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But yeah, I didn't want to hear that record.
Reciprocity.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to everybody who started using reciprocity after they heard that record.
Sounds like a roots word. Sounds like something
You know, but
Tariq Trotter would say.
Yeah.
but there, you know, once again, I like that record, that particular song, so much better now than I did when I first heard it. But also, I'm older. You know, I've been through
experiences,
different things with you know, the opposite sex. It made me think, okay, there's probably somebody who feels this way about me. And I'm sorry.
And then that kind of goes with the iconic standpoint too, because like when you create a body of work that's good for that time, and it still sounds just as good and relatable to this time, that's iconic in itself. You know, and I know a part of the reason that she stepped away too was family situation. She had kids to raise. She raised some talented children. I think her son sang on the Bob Marley soundtrack, I believe. Dope song. And she married into a very successful music family. So her offspring, so to speak, possessed that as well.
Not sure if they got married, but they were together.
Yeah, they were.
No, I mean, hey,
her kids got the Marley last name.
The Marley,
that.
Shout out.
But
shout out to Rohan. University of Miami, all that.
We heard X Factor, so who knows what she was going through at that time? I mean,
it's also kind of like an impossible standard that we're trying to give people here. It's just like, man, you're not an icon enough. It's like, you know,
like
you know, it's like from one perspective, it's kind of stupid to think about.
Even if she bombed though, like she dropped some heat, and then it was just like, that's it. You might see me at a concert, and you might not. If I show up, I might be late. You're gonna enjoy yourself.
It's wild though, man, because those are the same people that are discredit like 3,000.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because he's never gave you a solo body of work. But he did.
The Love Below.
His half of Idlewild.
His half of all of his verses, man.
Idlewild. Yeah, I mean, he did have some solo joints on that, but I just don't hold Idlewild to a.
It's not, but it's some good stuff on there though.
Yeah, it is.
She might be one though. I think Lauryn Hill might be one of the greatest what ifs. You know,
one of the what ifs that
hip-hop,
doesn't care.
You know, and
I don't even think she cares.
Yeah, good for her.
I guarantee you, she doesn't.
Yeah,
good for her.
And I think that had a lot to do with her speech at the BET Awards, because she talked about how she's doing things that you don't see, and I do this for us, so to speak, and I made this for us and for you. And, you know what I'm saying? Saying that she was raised by both of her parents, and now she does this for her parents and things of that nature, which is, you know what I'm saying, in itself, when you talk about hip hop, a lot of people don't talk about being raised by both of their parents and being successful in the field. So shout out to her and her situation.
Yeah.
Whether you want to call her an icon or not.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've had, you know, I've actually had this conversation with some people, and I have the conversation kind of jokingly when people are super Lauryn Hill fans. I just like to push the buttons and say, well, she only did this. You know what I'm saying? But in the same token, I can't ever say that what she did wasn't great.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Well, you know, you really want to get one of those Lauryn Hill fans Superman.
Just say, throw down that box.
Throw that too. And tell them that, honestly, the Carnival is better.
Oh.
That's just being mean. Carnival wasn't.
Carnival was fantastic.
Yeah, Carnival wasn't a bad album, but it wasn't better than Miseducation. Can't say that.